You talked a lot about leadership, even at the Global Business Conference recently. You talked about what are all the traits a leader should have. The key one is leader should have integrity. Leader must work with integrity and succeed with integrity. Unfortunately, in Indian context, we have a lot of leaders at every level who do not have that. We have an integrity problem as a nation as a whole. That is clearly evidenced by the, if you look at India ranks 84th in a league of 180 nations in terms of correction. So we are not clearly, we are slightly improved. So where is the problem and what needs to be done to address that?
See, I felt it has to the it has to start from the home. The We have got a people, billion plus people. They live in 200 million houses, and the question is, how many houses they work with integrity and succeed with integrity? There comes it. After all, nobody comes from top. It is home. Home. There are suppose 30% of the people, 30% of the houses are corrupt. Now, who can change? There's a law of the land that to punish them. But that may not be effective rightly. But one system I am propagating, the home, suppose 30, 60 million houses, house consists of father, mother, two daughters, one son, or two sons, one daughter. Suppose I asked the children, suppose you come to know something wrong with your father in dealing with things not right way he's doing. Can you say, go to the father, don't do that? No, the children all said in a meeting of about 120,000 children gathering, we will fight out. We can change our parents. I didn't believe it. And then when I asked the mothers who were sitting there, if your daughter or son says your father has to change, your mother normally are not corrupted. So when I asked, they said yes. If our son or daughter, the mother says, if son or daughter comes and tells us stop the wrong practice, and we have to do it, we get others insulted. So I felt a movement, not only in India, anywhere in the world, a best movement will be use the young people, young children to change their parents for good.
We've talked about energy independence a lot. Uh, what should be done from an Indian perspective? I know we have already signed the Indo-US nuclear deal, which is historic in nature. Apart from that, what else needs to be done for us to realize that energy independence?
Well, energy independence means we have to graduate from energy security, that is from fossil fuel usage, large amount of fossil fuel. We have to go to fossil fuel free, free energy system. That in the world, whether you drive Lexington car or New York car or New Delhi or Mumbai or Tokyo or Peking, anywhere, London, we are generating per year 30 billion tons of carbon dioxide. It goes to the atmosphere, which damages. So that's why I am propagating energy independence. Energy independent means it has got three dimensions. One is solar power, high energy solar cell, and the second one is the nuclear power using thorium based nuclear reactor. Third one, biofuel. These combination, we will have a carbon neutral system. So we have to dream to be a carbon neutral nation, India. We are working towards that.
I know at the end of your term as a president of India, you had a dream of powering the Rashtrapati Bhavan using solar electricity. What is the status of that? Do you know?
Well, see, Rashtrapati Bhavan full of gardens, beautiful gardens. Rose, there are 90 varieties of roses. I introduced there fragrant roses. And the when we established 5 megawatt solar power plant, the some disturbance to the environmental the situation there may change. So I got economic sanction, every sanction except the environmental fellows. Even president cannot move them. So they rightly pointed out that some lot of greenery may get damaged. So they want me to go out of Rashtrapati Bhavan, outside, establish. By that time, my term is over. The future presidents will do that.
India is a spiritual land, and fortunately, we have access to a lot of great documents like Bhagavad Gita. It's a very important document in our history, and Upanishads, Vedas, and all that stuff. And you yourself are a very avid reader of these historical books. And the great Robert Oppenheimer, who was the father of atomic bomb, and you yourself have referred to Gita in times of moral dilemma. But unfortunately, the Indian youth or the present generation, they know that they exist, but no one really goes and makes any effort to read and understand what's in them. So, what would be your advice to the current generation to, or what should be done to make them read all this stuff and probably look at those books to gain more moral things?
See, I personally believe the whatever children when they grow up to age of 17, they're part of the whole, intimately part of the whole. So they acquire a spiritual life from the parents. The father, mother, spiritual in their life. For example, if they go to a church, if they go to a mosque, if they go to temple regularly, and if they read Bhagavad Gita or any Vedas or any spiritual book, they acquire, children very fast they acquire. So and also suppose they come across primary school teacher, he is a great personality, and who is a great example, a happy life and spiritual life is leading apart from teaching, children acquire. So father, mother, the spiritual environment, and the teacher, a role model teacher, this combination make the children a spiritually oriented or children of a good trace. It's nothing to do with the children problem. It is the parental care and the great teachers in the primary school. I feel what would make enlightened citizen is I am propagating what is called combination of education with value system up to age of 17 and bridging spirituality among religions and economic development. I am propagating that each educational institution may introduce moral science class up to age 17 for the young. Okay?